I caught myself fantasizing about getting mildly injured, just enough to land in a hospital bed for a week of rest. Seriously. Turns out, there's even a term for this. Hospital fantasies. That's how burned out I was. Dark, I know, but if you've been there, you get it. Burnout doesn't exactly knock politely. It sets your life on fire while you're too busy to notice. Not long ago, I was that person crying under my desk at 7 p.m. on a Friday. No dramatic music, no slow clap, just me, curled up next to a pile of overdue work, feeling like a complete failure. On paper, I was fine. In reality, I was a dumpster fire in a business suit, running on coffee and sheer anxiety. One morning, on the way to an important meeting, I completely broke down. I pulled into a random parking lot and sobbed until my chest ached. I felt hollow, exhausted beyond exhaustion. Like someone had hollowed me out and left a lifeless shell. The scary part? I wasn't even surprised. I saw it coming in slow motion. The late nights, the weekend emails, the fake smiles masking chronic fatigue. The irony is I kept telling myself, just push a little harder. I thought working more would somehow fix feeling like less. Spoiler? It didn't. My body waved the white flag. I was dizzy, irritable, and permanently tired. At one point, I hadn't had a decent night's sleep in weeks, and I'd begun wishing for a bout of flu just to force me to stop. Later, I learned I wasn't alone. According to a 2022 survey, 43% of U.S. office workers felt burned out. Misery loves company, I guess. But knowing burnout is common didn't solve anything for me in that moment. I knew I had to claw my way out, one step at a time. So I did. Over the next months, I stumbled through a personal recovery, raw and unguru-like. No spa retreats or magic crystals, just 5 gritty steps that slowly pulled me back to the living. Here's the framework that emerged from my mess, told straight up with a wink and some bruises. Pause. First thing I had to do was slam the brakes. I gave myself permission to step back, even though my guilt was screaming. It felt like an admission of failure to do nothing, but in truth, it was survival. Think of it as hitting Control-Alt-Delete on a life that was freezing up. I literally took a day off, and then a week. I turned off my email notifications, which felt like holding my breath underwater. But guess what? The world didn't implode. My team managed, the sky didn't fall. By pausing, I could finally see how burned out I was, and that pausing was not weakness, it was a freaking lifeline. In the words of a burnout expert, rest is part of execution. Protect your fuel, not just your goals. I learned that if you don't refuel, you're not going anywhere, no matter how hard you press the gas. Find your North Star. Once I caught my breath, I had to remember why the heck I was working so hard in the first place. I realized I'd been running on autopilot, chasing goals I didn't even care about anymore. So I sat down with a journal, okay fine, it was a coffee-stained notebook, and asked myself 2 brutal questions. Who am I, and what do I want? They sound cheesy, but they cut through the noise. A coach I read about suggested these are the questions that reveal your why, your personal North Star. My honest answers surprised me. Who am I? Apparently someone who values creativity and family more than fancy job titles. What do I want? I want to feel human again, to have energy for a life outside of work. That clarity hit me like a cold shower. My North Star wasn't get promoted anymore, it was get balanced and be true to myself. Once you find that guiding star, it's easier to say no to the things that don't matter, because you have a bigger yes burning inside. Strategize hard. Next up, I became a man with a plan. Look, escaping burnout isn't a spontaneous joyride. I had to strategize like my life depended on it because it did. I treated it like a project. If I could plan a marketing campaign at work, I could plan my escape from the burnout spiral. I listed out everything that was draining me and started plotting how to fix each item. Work overload? I had a tough chat with my boss, heart-pounding but resolute, and renegotiated deadlines. No time for myself? I literally scheduled me time into my calendar like it was a meeting with the CEO. I even set alarms to go home on time. Yeah, an alarm to leave work, because I didn't trust myself otherwise. It was weird and awkward and totally necessary. Strategy also meant enlisting allies. I told close colleagues and friends that I was struggling. Hardest thing ever for a prideful overachiever, but their support was fuel. Every plan isn't foolproof, but as the saying goes, no strategy works if you're too burned out to execute it, right? I had to make a strategy for my energy, not just my tasks. Rewire your mindset. Burnout isn't just about too much work. It's also about the lies your brain tells you. My brain was stuck on a toxic station playing hits like, you're not doing enough and if you rest, you're lazy. I had to change that channel fast. This meant some deep mental rewiring. I started by challenging my own beliefs. Was my worth really tied to my productivity? Spoiler, no. My worth is innate, not a KPI. I remembered reading about a psychologist who burned out and realized her worth wasn't tied to achievements. That resonated hard. So I began rewriting my internal script just like she did. I literally wrote down the junk thoughts and then scribbled healthier counterpoints. Rest is productive. Saying no is okay. Perfect is not the goal. Good enough is fine. It felt corny at first, but it worked over time. I also sought therapy and devoured books on growth mindset and self-compassion because my brain needed as much of a reboot as my schedule did. Bit by bit, I could feel my mindset shifting. I went from I must do it all to I must do what matters and protect myself. That was a game changer. When you rewire how you think about work, success, and yourself, you outsmart burnout at its root. Protect your fuel. Finally, I learned to guard my energy like a dragon guarding treasure. Burnout had left my tank beyond empty. I was running on fumes and calling it normal. Not anymore. Now my fuel, energy, passion, health comes first, unapologetically. I established non-negotiables: sleep, food, movement, and fun. Yes, fun. Remember that? I started going to bed at a sane hour, even if a project was unfinished. This one hurt my inner perfectionist, but it had to be done. I rediscovered exercise in the form of evening walks, which also doubled as cheap therapy sessions with myself. I learned that basic self-care habits are actually keystone habits that make everything else possible. If you don't sleep, eat, or move, you'll crash. Surprise! So I guard those habits. I also set boundaries like my life depended on it. No emails after a certain hour, weekends are for family and Netflix, and I will ignore your call at 9 p.m. At work, I started pushing back on unreasonable requests, politely, mostly, and I stopped feeling guilty for taking a lunch break away from my screen. These were little moves, but they added up to a huge difference. Protecting my fuel isn't a one-time deal. It's a daily practice, because once you've crawled out of burnout, you learn to shield your flame from the wind so it doesn't blow out again. Burnout recovery isn't a pretty overnight transformation. It's messy. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it is possible. I'm living proof that even if you feel like a burnt-out zombie, you can regain your spark one practical step at a time. Now I want to leave you with a challenge, a simple journaling prompt to kickstart your own recovery journey. What is one thing that truly fuels me, and how will I protect it this week? Grab a pen, scribble it down, and answer honestly. No fluff, no gimmicks, just you facing your truth on paper. Remember, this isn't guru talk. I'm just a fellow human who crawled out of the burnout abyss and lived to tell the tale. If I can do it, so can you. Take that pause, find your North Star, make your plan, rewire your brain, protect your fuel. Do it in your perfectly imperfect human way. You've got this. And you're not alone on the road back to balanced, burn-free living.